You think you can turn him. Pathetic child. I cannot be betrayed. I cannot be beaten. I see his mind. I see his every intent. Yes, I see him turning the lightsaber to strike true. And now, foolish child, he ignites it and kills his true enemy. So this is the dialogue that is straight from the movie when Snoke is talking to Rey about Kylo being about to kill her. And this was just another one of the things that I thought was weird about Snoke. It didn't fit well when he said this in the movie, and I couldn't really put my finger on it. But I saw this video of this guy talking about it, and he pointed some of these things out to me, and I will leave his link in a description below, just to give credit where credit is due. So let's break it down. When he was saying these things, he was talking about Kylo killing Snoke. Right? So, pathetic child, I cannot be betrayed, I cannot be beaten. I see his mind, I see his intent. Yes, I see him turning the lightsaber to strike true, and now, foolish child, he ignites it to kill his true enemy. I love that. I love that theory. It makes perfect sense to me that Snoke was planning on Kylo killing Snoke. Okay, and that is what he was talking about. He was talking about, I know Kylo is about to kill me. I cannot be betrayed. I cannot be beaten. This is in his plan. And now, foolish child, he ignites it and kills his true enemy. Snoke is Kylo's true enemy. Snoke is the only one that is preventing Kylo from holding the mantle of the Master of the Darkseid. Once Kylo defeats Snoke, Kylo will now have that mantle. Alright, so now let's talk about why Snoke would want to die. Why Snoke would want Kylo to kill him. So as I'm sure you've noticed, Snoke's body is really jacked up. He's suffering from injuries from who knows how long ago, and it doesn't seem like he can move around very freely. I mean, he just kind of sits in his chair and doesn't really do much, physically. But mentally, he's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, in the books, it was him, as the Empire was dying, he was giving random people these dark side dreams and turning all these people over to the dark side from where he was in the unknown regions. So mentally, he can do insane stuff. Physically, it doesn't seem like he can do very much because of his body. Now that Snoke is without his body, Snoke can now become like a Force ghost or a dark side spirit or whatever it is that is maybe the equivalent of a Force ghost for the dark side. Maybe it's even more powerful than the Force ghost. Maybe he has become the dark side itself. But the point is that now that he is without his crappy body, he can do a lot more. So now you might be thinking, okay, fine, so he will be better without his body, but then why didn't he just kill himself then? Well, the reason why he didn't kill himself is because he needed Kylo to do it. He needed Kylo to take that extra step into the dark side. As all dark side apprentices need to do, they need to take the mantle of power from their master and become the masters themselves. That's an essential step in every single dark side master that has ever existed. They have all taken the mantle of power from their masters. And Snoke knows this. Snoke is very well aware that this is how a dark side apprentice becomes a dark side master, and this is how the dark side becomes more powerful. Which is why he said he cannot be betrayed, he cannot be beaten, because it is in Snoke's plan that this happens. He cannot be betrayed because this is a part of the plan. He cannot be beaten because this is a part of the plan. He wins no matter what happens. If he stays within his body, then he's still alive. He can still do whatever he wants to do with his body. If he is killed, then he will be even more free to do whatever he needs to do in the dark. He will be free to manipulate the Force. He'll be free to tempt Rey or whoever else it is that he needs to be tempting. He may even be able to tempt Poe because Poe grew up next to a Force-sensitive tree, and that might make Poe himself a Force-sensitive. Now, we know dark side users or Sith cannot become Force ghosts, so it might be something different entirely. You know, it might be, as I said before, just like a completely separate being from a Force ghost. But the point is that he will be free and more powerful now than he was with his decrepit old body. Kind of like how Luke and Yoda are more powerful now, that they have become one with the Force. So when he's talking, he's not guessing, he's not lying. He can't be beaten and he can't be betrayed because he wants these things to happen. I see his mind, I see his intent. He knew what Kylo was about to do. He says it right there. I can see him turning the lightsaber to strike true. I mean, he tells us exactly what's happening, and then it happens. It's a part of his plan. So maybe this is why Luke decided to die when he did. Because he knows that now Snoke is in the Force realm and more powerful than ever. And Luke needs to join Yoda and whoever else is in the Force realm on the light side to try and defeat him. So, I mean, if this is really what the director was going for, if this is really what the intent of the movie creators was, throwing everybody, because they knew, Rian Johnson would have known that this movie was going to piss off a lot of the people who were really into Star Wars, like, deep lore, right? He knew that people were going to freak out over this. I mean, I was the same way. I mean, still, a lot of the movie is pretty bad, but this is the main part that really got to me. And if this is what he's doing, if this is kind of just baiting us to think one thing and then something completely different's going to happen, I mean, good on you, man. That, I mean, you got us. So hopefully this is what's going on. If not this, hopefully something like this is going on. You know. Anyway, I really think this is what's happening. The dialogue is just too weird and too vague for this not to be the case. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm going to leave a link to the original person's video. The original person who posted the video, his take on it was a little bit different than mine. Well, sort of. I just have I'm paying attention to different things than he was. So I'll leave a link to his video. And yeah, be sure to watch it. And yeah, see you later.